wrestling business, didn't you? Tell us some of the kind of shows that you did when you first started.
I think my first show, there was less than 10 people in the audience, and I never took more bumps than I did in that match. I don't think. It's just ridiculous stuff. Like you're going out there just doing stuff that you did at training and what you saw on the telly, but you never understood what or why you were doing it. You were just, I saw this spot, you did this spot, and then you saw this, and you go, it worked for them, it'll work for me too, and it doesn't. And, you just a case of not understanding the profession and not being actually taught the rights and wrongs of the profession. Let's be honest, we were all self-trained in a Thai boxing gym with the on mats and had the ropes there. And it was just learning off each other's really bad mistakes until someone clues you up, or you clue yourself up eventually, and just start doing it properly. And then I think I only really was, you never stop learning, but I don't think I was ever really got a clue about what this actually was till about 10 years in. So I'm either a really slow learner, or I wasn't around the right people, or I was just really stupid and just wasn't sinking it in. And that could be a combination of things. Why? Because I think, as I say to you all the time, when I started watching you and seeing you getting maximum reaction for essentially nothing, but when you actually realise that's more than something because you've connected with the audience, and it was just such a learning thing watching performers like yourself make so much over nothing, and yet there was no physical harm done to you, or there was no potential risk of harm. It was just you being a great bad guy or a great good guy and being able to elicit a reaction from something because you took your time, you did things correctly and stuff, and it was just I was the one that would come up to you and go, teach me how to do that, please.
Who were some of the other UK guys that really helped you, or you kind of had a light bulb go off when you met them, as far as learning things in the UK?
I was trained by the editor of FWA TV who ran the cameras by the name of Barry Sharalambus, and he clued me up so much with stuff about, there's me going in there doing 1,000 moves, and he said, you know what actually gets you over is your selling, and you don't realise it, because you've just got natural sympathy. And then we focused on that, made more of that, and then learned how to work television cameras, learned how to work a hard camera, and all this was done in like a really small hall down in Pinner Green. It was just great times, just learning, and I love learning. It's awesome. I never stop learning. I've taken seminars all over the country, and it's like I say to them, like, this business is completely subjective, and if I'm telling people that's wrong, this is wrong, that's right, this is how it should be done, and say, for example, the promotion they're working for, or the promotion that has brought me in to do these seminars is selling out all the time, then, what I say is absolutely irrelevant, because whatever's going on is working.
Yep.
You can't, not everyone is the same, and not everyone wrestles the same, and what I was taught is just stuff that I've learned while being at OVW, while being at TNA, and, learning how from some of the best, in my opinion, some of the best minds in the business, in like a Bully Ray, a Tommy, Kurt, people like that, just sponging off these people, just everybody really, and just trying to give that back to the people over here, so hopefully someone else can get the opportunities I have.
So you wrestled for quite a long time on the UK independent scene, as you would call it, obviously FWA and IPW, etc. Your big break came when you got on the a British boot camp. How did that come about? Jeremy
Boras just emailed me out the blue, but it was a time when I was kind of like, well, I'm heading 30 now, so is this something I want to carry on doing? And I would have carried on doing it, even though I was questioning it myself. I think, because the scene's so amazing here, who's to say it wouldn't have carried on, as popular as it is now. It's just that when that came about, it was like, right, I've got to throw absolutely everything into this, 100% commitment, 100% everything into it, because this might be the only opportunity I'll ever get. And, you have to be, you never know when the opportunity is going to arise, so it's right place, right time, right opportunity, and right people seeing you. And I was very fortunate in that because I was on there with the Blossom Twins, who I think they really had a good idea of what they wanted to do with the show. But then I came along and I kind of like stole the camera from everyone, and Marty was just a tremendous foil. You know, we were each other's foil really, but he was just so awesome to interact with and stuff that it really made the show. I don't think the show would have been as popular if Marty, or as entertaining if Marty wasn't on the show personally. He's done tremendous, and he's gone on to do absolutely tremendous things on the UK Independents now with his new character.
And how much of that show was work and how much was legit?
All legit, mate, from the tears right at the end, all the way from the moment I punched him in the limousine. It was just, they let us go. A lot of it was sometimes hinted with alcohol and booze, but, some of it was just rammed down our throat to see what emotions I could get out of there. But when you see me hit Marty, I hit him. When you saw me cry my eyes out after Hulk Hogan and Dixie Carter said, you're the guy we want, that was, was real as it gets. Just one of the best memories I'll ever have, but it also came with a lot of pressure because now everybody's watched your journey on television, and if you become a failure, what becomes of you? And you've just got to. I was impatient a lot. I mean, I'd message Nick Aldis a lot, and Nick would be like, just don't worry, and I'd be frustrated there. He goes, I know, you should be up here now, but just take your time. And Nick really looked after me in those early days. He'd let me stay in his hotel room, everything like that, and show me the ropes of what happens when you go on a house show loop, or what goes on when you go on a TV loop and stuff. So I never forget that from Nick. He always went and looked after me as I was new in, and just always put a good word in for me.
He's got an injury at the minute, bless him.
I know, yeah. It's I saw it on social media. It's like a bicep injury and stuff, and like that sucks when anyone gets injured. But he'll be back sooner than I think anybody because of he's that committed to this industry.
Well, I said to him, it's the problem that guys like me and him, guys in such great shape with gigantic pythons, we have this problem. Biceps tear quite easily. I
think you tore your backside more times than the rest
the last time I went to the gym, I went by mistake. I thought it was Pizza Hut. You're supposed to laugh now.
That just wasn't funny, was he?
No, I'll edit that bit out.
Yeah, you can't bury yourself, can
you? No, I'll edit that bit out. I don't want to sound too bad. Now, one thing you did get to do on British Boot Camp that I never got to do, and it's about the only guy that I never got to wrestle, was Rollerball Rocco. What was he like?
Wonderful. Absolute gent. A little funny story with it was, I don't think even the networks really found out. I don't think Jeremy Borash knew, and he was obviously the producer of the show. I'm just about to wrestle Rocco in the ring. I think I'm the last British wrestler that's ever got in the ring with him for any kind of physicality. And he comes over to me and he goes, "Come here, lad." He grabs my hand and he puts it on his chest and he goes, "All right, lad, that's my pacemaker." And just don't go near that. We're all going to be all right. I'm like, "Okay, sir." So I just let him beat the piss out of me. He just slapped me about. He stretched me. He put me in a chokehold. And I just let Rocco be Rocco, and it was, it was pretty cool, pretty surreal, because he's one of the British guys that no one has a bad word to say about. He really changed the industry in a way, because the way he was so aggressive and so rough and tough in there. So it was different. I'll give it that, but no one else is going to be able to say on the British scene that they got in the ring with Rollerball Rocco, and I can. So.
Now, you wasn't a fan of British wrestling at all, was you? You was all the way American.
Yeah, I grew up watching WWF, and I couldn't get in bars when I was 16, and everybody else sodded off out, and I'd be stuck at home watching WWF Raw. But I'd come to school on Monday, I'd go, "You guys missed out." And they're like, "What are you on about, man? We went out and did this, smoked some cigarettes, blah, blah, blah." "Oh, cool, good for you, 16-year-olds. But I watched Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon just go absolutely crazy. And then I saw Mae Young give birth to a hand, and then I saw The Undertaker someone. It was just chaos TV, but I couldn't stop watching, and it made me want to do this. And I always thought about doing it, always. I don't know why I do this now. I just know I have to. It's just this is me. It's always been a part of me. It will always be a part of me. And thank God, because God knows what I'd be doing without it. But then you watching it as a kid growing up, watching Hulk Hogan and the Warrior, and people, these larger than life characters growing up, and then you have a bit of a lull period because it wasn't cool anymore, and then it's become this global monster that now everybody's involved in, and and you feel like, yeah, I got everybody back into wrestling, and then it dies down again, and then it's like the up and down of the industry. And I really feel right now, like looking at shows, it's like the local shows, because the talent is so vast and the talents are so entertaining, that I think the local shows, and given the price of them and the convenience of them as well, they're actually drawing a lot better than what's on television right now, and people are getting heroes at these shows that they can see locally, and it's pretty cool. It's really pretty cool. I think it's like I think Mark Andrews, who's really on the pulse with what's cool and what's not usually, and he was explaining it to me, this Reddit culture, which is like a discussion. I think it's discussion forums and stuff.
Yeah.
To talk about things, but he says it's really what they call a Reddit crowd. So it's wrestling's cool again, like that pop culture thing, but it's that underground feel that everybody likes instead of the mainstream. So, who knows what it's going to be going forward? But these places are growing and growing, so it's pretty cool to see.
Well, I'm sure you can remember your first wrestling match you ever saw live, and I remember going to mine, as clear as day. It was just the most amazing thing. And I've taken, like, family members when I was working, and people that had absolutely no interest in wrestling, and every single one of them came away saying what a great night they've had.
Yeah, I've had that with friends before, blah, 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 like, when they drag their girlfriends along, and they're like, oh, God, we've got to go watching them. Oh, this is ridiculous. It's not boxing, it's not mixed martial arts, this is rubbish, this is the fake stuff. They come away having the best time of their life, and it's not like boxing or MMA, because you can't guarantee drama and entertainment in a boxing and MMA fight, and you can with pro wrestling, because that's what we do. We tell stories, and they go away just so entertained and so happy that they just shown up. It's pretty awesome, because that's you that's got them in the building. So getting to see anybody else on the card and get entertained by them is even better.
And that's the key to being a great wrestler, isn't it? You can to control the emotions of the people that are in that building. It's not, and I think obviously we understand this, but a lot of people don't. It's not the moves. It's not the It's literally, like you said earlier, connecting with the crowd and getting the crowd to care about what you're doing.
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure that out, and I'm so much happier that I know that now, especially in the position I'm in. Because if I didn't understand that going into British Boot Camp, or going into OVW, or going into up to TV with TNA, then I don't think I'd still be there now. Because I used to think it was about everything else but what I'm doing now, and I absolutely love what I'm doing now, and what I'm projecting, because it's the closest thing to me as a person you're going to get when you watch Little James wrestling, So I'm really pleased. I've got in the ring with such amazing talents, like as we mentioned, Kurt. But I've also been able to wrestle like Drew Galloway just recently, who's just so awesome in the ring, and he gives me time to tell the story I'm trying to paint, and he's also on the same page, so he's doing the same, the opposite side of the ring and stuff, and just giving that space and time to let things breathe and just let us sell what we're trying to establish and stuff. It's it's perfect cocktail. It's just really, really, really good.
Now, you pretty much got to the top of the tree in the UK. You were definitely one of the top 5 guys in the UK. When you won the British Boot Camp and you went over to America, you went over training with Al Snow and Danny Davis in OVW. What was the big differences between being at the top of the tree in the UK and then preparing yourself to go into American television?
How do I explain it? Again, like we've just spoke about with the less is more, and making things, a bigger, a projection, more of a projection, and more of a big a bigger thing than what you would